¿Te sientes incomprendido o incomprendida? ¿Necesitas un apoyo, un grupo de ayuda o algo con que reírte? Ven con nosotros a Haz de Bigueires en tu podcast favorito, donde podrás encontrar miles de historias que hablarán por ti. Bienvenidos, bienvenidas y bienvenides a Haz de Bigueires, tu podcast de tu compañía.
All right, so get this. Today we're doing a deep dive into this group, Associação Cultural Bigueles.
Okay.
Ever heard of them?
Can't say that I have, no.
Me neither. Which actually, that's what makes this deep dive kind of cool. You know, like we're starting from scratch here.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you and me both, just figuring out what this organization's all about.
A blank slate. Where should we even begin?
Well, their website, honestly, it's in some language I don't recognize, but
Right.
But the main thing, it looks like Bigueles, it's all about equality and diversity. There's this phrase, hang on, let me see if I can say it. Descubre, aprende y comparte en Biguel.
Ooh, fancy.
Right. And my online translators tell me that means like discover, learn, and share at Bigueles.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, right?
It seems very welcoming, like they're encouraging people to, explore and share their experiences.
Definitely.
Which is so important, especially for an organization all about, inclusivity and stuff.
Totally. So they've got this whole range of services. They're offering workshops, talks. They've even got cultural events listed, like exhibitions and film screenings.
Really?
Yeah, and support groups, advocacy. It's a lot pretty impressive when you see it all listed out like that.
Wow. They're not messing around.
Yeah.
Sounds like they've really thought about this, all the different ways that people need support.
Exactly. And it got me thinking, like, imagine going to one of their workshops, right?
Yeah.
And it actually helps you understand different perspectives, or even just finding a safe space in one of these groups where you can connect with people who get it,
For sure, yeah.
These aren't just like bullet points on a website. These are real resources that can actually make a difference.
Absolutely. And what I find really interesting here is how they're approaching this whole idea of intersectionality.
Yeah.
They're not just talking about like LGBTQ plus rights, but they're connecting it to other social justice issues. And I think that's really important, that kind of nuanced approach, if you want to create lasting change.
100%. Yeah, it's all connected.
Exactly.
So beyond the services, they've actually listed some of the people involved, which I thought was cool. They highlight Frankie Ruiz as the president.
Okay.
And Beatriz Cuesta and Rosa Salcedo are also listed.
Oh.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that behind all these, organizations that are making an impact, there are actually dedicated people just working their butts off to make it happen.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Leadership, teamwork, all that. That's the engine behind any successful, social initiative. Seeing those names, it reminds you that change, it often starts with just a few passionate people,
Yeah.
Just taking action.
For sure. And speaking of, their website mentions an email address and a phone number. So
Nice. Easy to get in touch.
I was thinking, they've got to be on social media too, right? Like, easier than ever these days to connect with groups like this, find out how to get involved.
That's what it's all about, right? Engaging, becoming an active part of, making things more inclusive. That's how real change happens.
100%. Even if it's something small, it all adds up, right? Like maybe you share their story with a friend or you go to one of their events.
It all makes a difference.
Yeah, every little bit helps these organizations thrive and do their thing.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that creating a truly inclusive world, it's a group effort. It takes all of us. And organizations like this, they're leading the way.
They really are.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like the whole world is playing catch up to, the ideas that groups like this are already working on.
Yeah.
Like they're out there on the front lines, actually figuring things out, in the real world.
It makes you wonder, though, like, what are some of the actual challenges they're dealing with in their community, right? Because we don't really get that from the website.
Oh, that's such a good point. It's easy to talk about diversity and inclusion like in this, big picture way.
Right.
But the real work, it always happens at the local level.
Right.
Totally. Every community's got its own needs and challenges and all that.
100%. Like maybe they're trying to deal with representation in their local government or something.
Yeah.
Or advocating for better school policies. Who knows? That's where the real deep dive happens. You know what I mean?
Totally.
When you can connect, like, what an organization says their mission is with the actual, like, context of where they're working.
Yeah, and I've seen firsthand how much of an impact these groups can have. Like, I remember this one workshop I went to years ago. It wasn't Big Gales, but it was a similar kind of organization. And they were all about, like, getting different cultural groups in the city talking to each other,
Yeah.
And the facilitator, this amazing woman, she had dedicated her life to, social justice and everything.
Wow.
And she was telling this story about...
Ooh, I love a good story.
Oh, it was good. So she was saying how this one workshop series they did, it actually helped to, like, bridge this divide between these two local communities that had all this, like, history between them.
Oh, wow.
Mistrust, conflict, the whole thing. And she was saying it wasn't easy or anything.
Yeah, bet.
But through all the dialogue, through all the shared experiences, they were actually able to find that common ground, build some real relationships. And that, to me, that's the power of these spaces.
Yeah.
They create the conditions for understanding, for empathy, and then, hopefully for change.
That's a powerful story, and it makes me think about, like, the ripple effect, If a small group can make that big of a difference in one place, imagine what happens when that energy, that commitment, it spreads to other communities.
Oh, yeah.
All over. It really is. It's like planting these seeds,
Totally.
of understanding and then watching them grow into something amazing.
And what's so cool is that, like, anyone can be a part of that.
That's true.
You don't need to be, like, some big shot or anything. Just got to be willing to learn and connect with people, then actually do something.
Exactly. So if you're listening to this and, this whole deep dive into, what was it called? Sociocultural, the Gales?
The Gales, yeah.
The Gales, right? If this got you even a little bit curious, don't just forget about it, Go online, look them up, see what they're doing. Maybe even reach out, say hi. Exactly, you never know, right? You might find your own way to make the world a little more inclusive.
Now, wouldn't that be something?
It really would. And on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive. But remember, the learning doesn't stop here. Keep asking those questions, keep exploring, and let's keep these conversations about diversity and inclusion going, You never know what kind of amazing changes we can make.
Just blow this flame away, and I hold on for rainy days. It feels like a decade. Just please come and save me. And it's fire.